to be alive at the Coombe Dingle Sports Complex in Bristol. My name is Chris Tebbett and Depth Chart Sports is so happy to bring you this prime time fixture between the Bristol Barracuda, the leaders of the South West 1, and their rivals, the Southampton Stags, currently on 1 and 2. And it's not just going to be the dulcet tones of Chris Tebbett you hear on this broadcast, no. Joining me on commentary, the MVP of Brit Bowl 36, the quarterback for the Bristol Aztecs and the UE Bullets, but maybe most importantly, the head of HR for Depth Chart Sports, Ethan Gretzinger. How do you feel being right here at the Coombe Dingle Sports Complex in Bristol?
Absolutely honored. It's just nice to be back. I had the opportunity to be here once beforehand. It was much colder that day, but it's a nice day out for some good football here at Coombe Dingle.
I mean, the Southwest 1 is a bit of a mess with the Bournemouth situation coming into this season with a -7 points, BUCS points deficit, which means they started 3.5 games behind everyone else. They are currently in second place, but the Bristol Barracuda are in first place. The Bath Killer Bees faced off with Plymouth earlier today, and we'll bring you a score update when we get the opportunity. But the Bristol Barracuda, they're confident coming into this game. But one thing to consider is they've got a short turnaround, as their next game will be next Friday against the Bath Killer Bees. But we spoke to players and coaches from either side today, and both of them, they see this as a rivalry game. These two have been in the Southwest 1 for a fair few years, and they've realistically split the series over the last few seasons, which isn't boding well for the Bristol Barracuda, considering that they have already beaten the Southampton Stags already this season on November 16th, where they beat the Southampton Stags by just a margin of 7-0. However, over the last few years, the Southampton Stags actually lead the series since 2021, 4-3. Last season, it was Stags 16, Cuda 7 at home to the Southampton Stags. Then, classic fashion, the Cuda 7, Stags 0 in the home fixture. Then the Stags took both games in 2023. 2022, Cuda 19, Stags 0, Stags 32, Cuda 13 at home to the Southampton Stags, and then in that COVID-ridden season, the Cuda managed to come away with the victory, 43-14. But it's a big game here for both of these teams. Southwest 1 playoff chances, and realistically, it's still anyone's game. Two teams that I imagine focus very heavily on the defense. You could definitely say that for Bristol. Frank Wiczerek is going to be the QB for the Barracuda. He is their backup QB. We did see their starting QB, Seth, taking some snaps in the warm-up, but we are told that it will be Frank taking the opening salvo for the Bristol Barracuda. And just before we get started into this game, we want to say Togs by Emma is one of the sponsors for this game. They have merch for the London Blitz, the Brunel Burners. If you want some custom teamwear, go to togsbyemma.co.uk as they give us our lovely Depth Chart Sports MVP hats, which we will be handing out today to, a lucky someone on the field today. Also, Josh Ricketts coaching. If you're a high-level athlete coming back from an injury or just want to prevent injuries, Josh Ricketts coaching is where you'd like to go. That's josh.ricketts. Coaching clinic. To be fair, I mean American football. Coaching as well as strangely baseball as well. So we're getting started. I mean, Bristol look ready. I mean, it's an absolute colour clash here today. Lots of dark reds. If you're a fan of maroon or burgundy, then this is the game for you.
I will have to say the Stags colorway is frighteningly similar to a college rival of mine, the Claremont McKenna Stags, in Southern California, a D3 school. So there might be a a little animosity towards that colorway, but still hoping for a good game for the Stags.
So, I mean, we're looking at some of the captains here for Bristol: Matthias Nudelman, Archie Callahan, Frank Wittrick, and Nat Ford. I mean, you know some of those names from playing amongst them at the Bristol Aztecs.
Yeah, Matthias Nudelman, really talented, young DB, can kind of fly around the field, but also has the ability to kind of digest the play right in front of him and make good plays on the football.
So Scott Devlin, the quarterback, number 4 for Southampton, James Cunningham, Max McGeechee and Dan Hall are the captains for Southampton. Now, one of the players we have been told to look out for is James Cunningham. I mean, you can see there, sort of towering over everyone else there at number 15. He is their kicker and also a wide receiver. But one thing to note about Cunningham is taping. He's got quite a large knee brace on, but he's definitely one of the threats that Bristol have pinpointed for today. But again, these fixtures tend to be a defensive battle, but obviously, we're hoping for at some point we can scream touchdowns here. So it looks like Southampton win the toss and have elected to defer. Oh no, I've got it wrong. Bristol won it and chosen to receive. I mean, it's always good to get the first win of the day out of the way. I think nothing. I mean, I was going to say nothing's more important than the coin toss until the first snap.
Hey, tails never fails. I'll still live by that.
To be fair, as I've only ever been a captain once, and I don't think I was the speaking. I don't think they trust me to be the speaking captain. I've never had the displeasure of, having the whole game riding on simply heads or tails. I will say, just in case anyone is wondering, despite the fact that it is, the last day in November, you'd expect it to be Arctic freezing, gale force winds. It's quite nice. It's quite a nice night here. It's quite a nice evening. Don't get me wrong, it's still quite cold. The wind isn't quite as, what it is in Hillside Gardens, I'm sure you're aware, but it's not there. And also, thank our lucky stars, it's dry. It is dry here at, and you're going to hear me say this a lot today, the Coombe Dingle Sports Complex in Bristol.
What a name, what a name.
So me and Ethan were here for Bristol's first game against Bournemouth. Offense wasn't quite clicking. What would you like to see out of Bristol today? In the quarterback position anyway.
Just to be a little bit calmer in the pocket, not just to throw the ball up and hope for the best from a receiver.
Cunningham does kick it away. And it is going to be returned by number 0 of the Barracuda. A little bit of indecision there. Bit strange there from that Southampton player who slowed down in front of number 0. But it's going to be a decent return there. I don't quite know what that Stags player was thinking, but Archie Callahan on the return is going to set up a decent return for the Bristol Barracuda.
And Archie's looked really good this season. He's looked a lot more confident coming out the gates, and it's really nice. It's really nice to see from Archie. He's a young kid who has a lot of potential. So I'm really excited to see him grow and develop.
So here we go, the first offensive drive of the series. I'm interested to see what Wittrick can bring to the table. He's started 2 games for Bristol and he's won both of them. But it was 14-0 to Plymouth and 7-0 over Southampton, but they're going to start off with a run. I mean, again, we did speak to some of the Barracuda coaches before this game started. And they said, they're going to try and beat them on the ground. That's going to be a decent opening run here, I'm going to say, just for a gain of 3.
My offensive coordinator at the UWE Bullets, Jadrian Clark, likes to say it's a production business, right? Winning football games is the name of the game. So, if Frank can keep up doing what he's doing, it's going to be a good day for the Bristol Barracuda.
So, Wittrick gets it out there and it's complete. And that is going to be enough for a quick Bristol first down. Number 23 of the Barracuda is going to be able to bring it in. Avagostinos, number 23, is going to bring it the first Bristol Barracuda first down of the day. I mean, well, also the first down of the entire day. So 7 in motion for the Barracuda. Bit of a jump there. I mean, Whitrick trying to dial up the trickery here. Bit of a low snap. It's going to be a handoff to number 15 of the Barracuda. But, I mean, he broke through that first bit of contact well, but it does look like it's still going to be a loss of about 1 for Bristol. I mean, number 15 for the Barracuda, Alex Doling. Bright pink. Don't think it twins well with the uniform, but I mean, there is some level of drip there, and he's an easy one to look out for, and we were said that look out for Alex Doling today. But it is going to be a loss of 1 on the play for the Barracuda.
Used to seeing pink in October, so you know, something new, something different. But we'll let it slide.
So first time Callahan in motion, low snap. Whitrick's trying to get it out to him, but Avagostinos manages to bring it in. I think they're going to be able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and they are, so it's going to be a 3rd and 10 for Bristol. I mean, it did look like Whitrick was looking for Callahan there, but fired it over his head, but only a gain of 1 on the play for Agostinos. Maybe, no, it's going to be just a gain of 1. So 3rd and 10 here. Just 1 yard shy of midfield. Low snap. Whitrick had to pick it up off the ground, and Doling is just being swarmed here by the Stags. I don't quite know what the plural is for Stags. But I mean, Doling probably does know now what it would be. So just a loss of maybe half a yard on that play, but more importantly, it's a Bristol Barracuda 4th down, and the punting unit is going to be coming out.
Finn O'Reilly returning here.
That's good from him. High snap, sails over Doling's head. He's going to have to get it away. And I tell you what a kick out of nowhere. And Finn O'Reilly's got it, and a good tackle there. No fair catch signal made. 87 of the Barracuda there to wrap him up before anything can happen.
Incredible recovery from 15 right there to control the football, pick it up, and have the calm demeanor to punt that a fair distance on the move.
And I mean, when you're in an emergency situation like that, you're just lucky to get the ball away. But dial off a pretty decent punt. I mean, you've got to be happy with that, as we're going to see the first offensive drive here of the Southampton Stags. Scott Devlin, number 4 in at quarterback. And he didn't see that ball get snapped, and Jed is right there, and Jed has got the ball. I cannot believe this. I'm not entirely sure. Big man Jed may have brought it. You can tell it because he's got the double supreme sleeves, and Jed Fadley has come away with it. Oh my God, he knew the camera was on him. Number 26. Normally wears number 20, but there we go. I mean, he was absolutely... He was so gassed that this was taking place that it would be live streamed, and he's got his moment, and it's only the first quarter. Wow. And I mean, this is great field position now for Bristol.
That Jed right there, that 2-6, he is a playmaker. Regardless, he makes plays.
I mean, sort of came into uni ball law last year, sort of as a bit of a joke was Jed around the Southwest one, but that man can play football. It's a 0 motion, and it's going to him, but the Stags, breaks 1 tackle, and I mean, that's a good fighting there, and it's going to be enough for a fresh first down for Bristol as they are entering the red zone of the Southampton Stags. I mean, Bristol have the juice right now. They have the juice. Not quite enough for a 1st and goal for the Barracuda. I'd say probably about 4 yards. Nope. What'd you say? Is that on the 12-yard line they're starting there? No, sorry. I'm looking completely wrong. It wasn't enough for a first down there. It's going to be a 2nd and 3. Fakes one handoff, goes to 0 again. And that looks like it is going to be enough for a first down.
It's something that Archie does really well. You know, he just keeps his legs moving even when he gets in between the tackles, and even when he, gets contact, keeps those legs moving, drives through the defender. And now that sets up Bristol with a 1st and goal. It looks like on the 2 or 3 yard line.
I'm going to give it to Bristol on the 2, but 2 good run plays there. They said they were going to just absolutely pound on the ground today, and I mean that's what they've done. Position here, unless something goes drastically wrong for them, they're going to be walking away with the first points of the game, which again, I mean, is good considering that last fixture, which was exactly 2 weeks ago, was only 7-0, but I think what's different is Southampton having a bye week last week allowed them to focus in on the Barracuda, especially considering they were their last opponent. And it goes to 0 again here on that counter, but looks like there is going to be just a gain of 1 on the play. So back to the 2-yard line here, third and 2 here for Bristol. They do need to start capitalising. I mean, we saw that in their game against Bournemouth in week 3. The Barracuda were coming away with fumbles and interceptions, but they finished that game with no points on the board. It's definitely something that they need to work on, especially considering that, with that point deficit to the Bournemouth Bobcats, the Bristol Barracuda are in 1st place here. It goes to number 0 again, falls forward. There's going to be a gain on the play. It's going to be
on those jet sweep type of plays, you really need your wide receivers to block, and get those apex defenders so they can't crash down and make plays like that.
I mean, Callahan has been the hot hand they're trying to give it to here. Whitrick's coming in. They're keeping their offense on the field, trying to get that touchdown. And they have got a kicking unit, but I think they're aware, beating them by 7 last time, you're in the 1st quarter, you put 7 on them, you're looking pretty good. So I'm not actually surprised here from the Barracuda. Callahan goes out wide, he's going to get it. There is some space for Callahan, he breaks 1, and Callahan scores, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Bristol Barracuda. And I mean, what a fantastic play that was. Archie Callahan has been the hot hand for Bristol so far, and he's going to put 6 on the board for the hometown side. What do you make of that play, Ethan?
I think that's an awesome play design. I love, getting to put running backs on the outside and, making DBs tackle. Good job by Frank there to get the ball out, get it to his, star running back, and letting him go to work, making the guy miss and putting 6 points on the board for Bristol.
So, Dolan to kick it. Snap was pretty bad, but the kick is good. It's through both of them. That's not double points, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the one, but it goes through both. And it's the 1st quarter, and the Bristol Barracuda have already equalled the total in their last game against the Southampton Stags. And, not to put too much, as they say, glaze on the boy, that play was set up by Big Match Jed. Let's have another look at that touchdown. I mean, Callahan goes out. I mean, perfect pass from Frank. Callahan just using his speed to get her on the outside. 43 of the Stags was right there, but just not enough for the speed of Callahan. So can the Stags respond here? I mean, you never want to start your first offensive drive like that. It did seem as though their quarterback just didn't see that snap, but obviously Jed looking down that ball, he managed to find it. I'm interested to see what Scott Devlin and the Southampton Stags can do here. Because obviously we didn't get much of a chance to see them in their first drive. So Dolan's put 1 point on the board already today. Another great kick. And that looks to be a touchback, and it certainly is.
It's not too often that you put a lot of limelight on special teams, but this 15 has made one incredible punt and has a leg on him, obviously from the kickoff.
So once again here, Southampton starting down at the 24, their own 25-yard line. Even though, Southampton haven't played as much as the Barracuda, they're still in the hunt. It's a very strange division with, arguably the best team in the division, starting them 3.5 games behind everyone else. Only going to be a gain of 1 on that play. Run from 27. I mean, considering that the last time me and Ethan were here, Bristol scored no points, it is good to see from them. Carrington as the running back here for the Stags. Bringing number 12 in motion across. And Devlin just couldn't get a handle on that ball. And I mean, he's lucky to get a single yard there.
Yeah. It's nice to see both of these teams incorporating some motion and trying to diversify the look of the offense a little bit.
So a 3rd and 8 for the Southampton Stags. I would be expecting Devlin to pass here. No, it's going to be a reverse. There is in place 13. And I mean, a good tackle there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 8 for the Southampton Stags. I mean, there's been some. I mean, I'm surprised here from Bristol. They're looking pretty complete here. Jack Hellman with a great tackle there, but it's still going to be 4th and 8 for the Stags. And a high snap here, and manages to get rid of it. I mean, we've got two 15s punting here today, and both of them had to deal with a lot of stress, and James Cunningham does manage to get it away down at what looks to me to be the 38-yard line of the Barracuda. Obviously, great field position for the Barracuda last time is what has led to the score. So it becomes a question of, can they sustain a drive from this far out? Definitely some space there. Whittrek gets it out, ball is out. But I mean, lucky there, and they are going to say that that was a fumble. They're not going to say that a football move was complete there. To be fair, that ball may not have even touched the ground. But it's going to be, I mean, that's not how you want to play to go. But I mean, it's still, oh, that's a good, let's have a look. Let's see where they're going to put it. I mean, that's going to be a gain of 8 on that play.
We'll take it.
Have you ever had a play that looks like that?
I've had a few wild ones, but I don't know about just like that.
So Whittrek number 4. He's got it. And a quick pass out there. And Doling has got it. And I tell you what, the Bristol Barracuda are looking pretty electric right now.
Looks like this one might be coming back. So using a little halfback screen pass there. You know, most of the time you kind of want to stay inside because your lineman will be blocking towards the sideline. Most of the time you want to cut that up through the middle of the field. And
So the first penalty of the day is going to be against the Barracuda. A holding penalty and a good play, and definitely some momentum being wiped off the board here. But I mean, after that, I mean, spectacular play that we saw before. It's not. It could be worse. It could be worse here. You know, 2nd and 8. I mean, a lot more of an exciting offence we've seen here from Bristol, but obviously last time Ethan were here, it was their first game of the season. They weren't able to really say anything. Definitely some movement on the line there, but no flags in. Just a push pass into the middle. Callahan's got it, and it could be enough for a first down. Let's see what the referees say. I think he may have fallen just over the down mark, but there is a flag on the play from our opposite sideline. And one of the referees is pointing towards Southampton. Then I think he may be doing also the signal for fresh set of downs there for Bristol. I mean, that's the right call. There was a bit of movement, but from up in the commentary box, I couldn't quite see the yellow flags. So Ethan, as you're basically Mr. Bristol at this point, I mean, seeing how the Barracuda are, you know, they do sort of light up when you're here. How does that feel?
I think it's awesome to see so many people who just love the game of football, and to be able to share that love with other people is always just a good feeling, and to see the growth of the game.
Oh, Witcherek fires. And I mean, that was close. I mean, 89 for the Stags. I'm not entirely sure if he saw where the ball was, but he certainly got in the way.
It's nice to see the CUDA, you know, trusting their pass game a little bit here. We saw with the screen pass, taking advantage of that apex defender on the Stags. You know, if he's inside leverage of that number 2 receiver, you know, getting him the ball quickly, as we saw now, you know, taking a shot downfield.
I mean, it wasn't even that far off. Shitu, number 89 for the Southampton Stags, was right there. I mean, there was a chance of a bit of a tip drill catch there, but receiver for Bristol just couldn't quite get his head around here. Witcherek gets it out to Callahan again, and a slip from the Southampton Stag, and Callahan has got some space, but 43 of the Southampton Stags does manage to get him out of bounds for a Bristol Barracuda first down. I'm shocked here. I'm shocked and I am surprised. Piers Webb of the Southampton Stags does manage to prevent even more damage being done here, but I mean, the Bristol Barracuda thankfully put on a show for Depth Chart Sports here today, and for all of you, of course, everyone watching. I mean, given how run-heavy the Bristol Barracuda normally are, I'm sure that Southampton are a bit perplexed here. And a sack on the day. Witcherek just cannot escape.
We had a double move by the receiver on the bottom of the screen, number 41. If Witcherek had a little bit more time, I think we might have seen a touchdown number 2 there.
And Paniagua, number 17 for the Stags, is going to force a huge loss of yardage, looking to me anyway to be a 3rd and 15 now for the Bristol Barracuda. Be interesting to see if Bristol don't manage to get anything done here, if they do trust the leg of Dolan to maybe kick a field goal here. But I do appreciate that it's Uniball. Witcherek is going to drop back. Paniagua is right there. Oh my lord! That was so close. But the Southampton Stags doing a fantastic job, because that probably would have been, I mean, obviously enough for a first down, but at least paid maybe for the Bristol Barracuda.
Going back to that double move from the play before. A little stop and go action.
So it looks like the Bristol Barracuda aren't going to be bringing out their special teams unit at all. Nifemi, number 41, was the intended receiver there for Frank Wittrek, their QB. But I mean, I think you're definitely right. There's definitely a lot more confidence here from the passing game of. And a quick one, Wittrek has got it. But is there some space? Is he enough for a first down? He's going to keep flying. This is going to be close. I think he's just going to be a yard short. Let's have a look and see what these referees are saying. And it is just a yard short. But what a fantastic effort there by Dominic Bird, number 7.
That was a great tackle from the Stags right there to keep the Bristol Barracuda from converting on that long 4th down. And interesting play. They kind of left the slot receiver there a little uncovered and put that safety in a bit of a bind to come down and make a play.
So, and that is going to be the end of the first quarter. As well, I mean, let's be honest, this first quarter, despite the scoreline only being 7-0, it's been all Bristol. The Bristol have looked a lot more impressive, and I think the Southampton Stags have come into this game very shocked about the game plan of the Bristol Barracuda. You know, as much as it may be, you know, you'd expect it from a Barracuda, but it's like saying that, you know, that the team name is equivalent to their play style, which isn't the case, of course. But it's been very ground-based. I mean, how often do you throw the ball when bullets go through the air? No.
We attack through the air, but we also have some pretty great running backs and a great O-line. So we like to say we're a little multi-dimensional in that sense.
It's really part of the UE bullets that aren't great, but obviously you're not going to answer that question, so I'm not going to ask it. I'm simply not going to ask it. So first play of the second quarter here. The Barracuda bringing some people up, bit of a heavy blitz. One man gets through, but I mean, a good run play on that. There's going to be a gain of, I'm going to say 4 on the play there for the Southampton Stags. I mean, sending that blitz pressure maybe slightly too eager allows the running back to get 4 yards on the play. That is Dylan Jones in at running back. But Devlin is being pursued by Jed. And Jed, once again, is making a big impact with this game with a big tackle for loss for the Bristol Barracuda.
Jed came in there untouched and makes a huge play for the Cuda defense.
I mean, fingerless gloves, double supreme, crazy drip.
Unconventional, but dear God, you know, they say look good, play good, but he is making a statement today with his play and with his look.
So 3rd and 11. I mean, Jed's doing the right way to get a depth chart sports hat, but I'm not sure if I want to give it to him. Bit of a low snap here. Devlin's got it. He's going to be rolling out. Number 8's in his face and gets him out of bounds. Going to be a gain of 3 on the play here, so going to bring up a 4th and 8 for Southampton. But I mean, truth be told, it may seem harsh. Seems like Southampton are getting a little bit overwhelmed, I'd say. Like, not much there at all. And Bristol are doing, you know, Bristol are doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Ted Lawless for Bristol manages to get Devlin out of bounds.
As we know, you know, these snaps are a pretty critical part of the game.
Better snap this time. Matthias Nudelman back to receive. Takes a very, very slight Bristol bounce there. And they're going to have it, I'm going to say, at their own 34-yard line. Again, been decent from Bristol as the evening is starting to turn into night, and we thank God for floodlights and the fact that we can say that this game is a primetime game. And this is it, with how much the Barracuda have been through the air today, you know, they do they do like their running game, and that's going to start opening up here. Dolan is going to be in at running back. You can tell because it's very pink. Callahan in motion, goes to Dolan. He's going to cut through, but there's not going to be enough space, and it's going to be a tackle for loss for Southampton.
That was 79 in on the play. It's a great job to, beat the block and hold on to that running back to not allow the cutback action to take place in the backfield.
So 2nd and 12 here for Bristol. Again, success through the air, but Southampton are making sure that the run goes backwards, if anything. So only one high for Southampton. Whitrick's looking. Oh, and it is going to be picked up by 43 of the Southampton Stags, and it is coming back. It is coming back this way, and there is some space. He keeps on going. And he's going to be brought down at about the 15-yard line. Number 43 of the Southampton Stags manages to dial up a huge pick, and Piers Webb has put the Stags into scoring position.
Barracuda ran some verticals from their two receivers, and it's a dangerous ball to throw when you don't have another vertical from the opposite side of the field against a single high safety. Most of the time, right, to stress that single high safety with vertical concepts, you have a vertical on both sides to put that safety in a bind. But when there's only one seam route, it's much easier for a safety to jump the route, and Piers Webb was able to get the interception there.
So it's going to be a hand. Number 12's got speed and space, and he's going to have a gain of, I'm going to say, at least 7 on the play there. So that is Dylan Jones. Running back is number 12. And I'd argue he's probably the best person called Dylan Jones to ever play Uniball. Going to be 4 yards away from a first down. Going to go to Jones again. And Jones is going to have it and a lot more. It's going to be a fresh set of downs for Southampton. And Jones just being shifty enough to get the Southampton Stags into scoring position. And I tell you what, Southampton score here, then I do get to say the classic line of, we've got a game on our hands.
That interception definitely spurred some momentum for the Southampton.
I mean, we've seen it from the recovery by Jed, and now the pick by Piers Webb. People say turnovers make or break a game, and we can see that has been exactly the case here today. So low snap to Devlin. He's going to hand it to the outside. There is certainly some space there. Got to break through. What a good tackle there. I think he may just have that at the 1.
He might have lost the ball. I think he might have lost the ball.
I believe the referee has got that whistled down. But we are going to check. But the Bristol Barracuda do come up with the ball. Finn O'Reilly.
Does Jed have the ball?
Jed's got the ball again. But, the referees are having a conversation. But I think that the Stags have got that down at the 1. And they do. They whistled that down here, and just 1 yard away. Finn O'Reilly doing a great job. You're getting it down there. I'm looking for the light switch. Yeah, I've just looked like you can't see us at all. Oh, we have got a light, haven't we? So it's going to be a timeout called here by the Stags. They're first. Ooh, nice and warm light. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you do hear any swearing from any of the coaches or players, they are just beneath us, and we do apologise. But we're not going to tell them to stop swearing, because I mean, they're playing the game, and me and Ethan are sat up there in the booth. So. I mean, I don't know. It does look a bit Halloween on the camera. We're just trying to sort out a light up here for. Looks like we're camping. So I mean, Southampton taking a timeout here, and I'd argue, I mean, if there's any place to take a timeout, it's when you're at the 1 yard line. You need to make this go pretty smoothly, though they are only on their second down. Obviously, it's second and goal from the 1. Bristol are getting loud. Ball was on the floor. And I mean, great job there by... Oh, is that Jed again? And I mean, Jed with an absolutely fantastic tackle there. It really pains me. It really pains me because Jed is actually good at football. It pains me. Dylan Jones just running into a brick wall named Jed Fadley. It's one of these things with Jed is he's quite a small guy here, but he does pack a real punch. He does pack a real punch. So
he is shifty.
So it's going to be a third, I'd say, from the 5 yard line. So there's definitely some space around the outside there. And the ball comes out. But I mean, the Barracuda have done an absolutely fantastic job on defense here. They've said that they were, a defense first team, and I think this proves it, as it's going to be a 4th down. And I think the Stags, let's see where they're going to mark this ball. What do you say that from the 3? All the Stags are sort of in the way. So of course the Stags are going for it. You can't really blame them. Dylan Jones in at running back behind Scott Devlin here for Southampton. And it's going to go to Jones and absolutely lit up. And the Stags have a goal line stand. And I mean, Howman and Jed doing an absolutely fantastic job to keep the Stags scoreless. You can't help but be impressed here by the Bristol Barracuda.
They got great energy on the sideline, great energy on defense, and even though the offense is backed up here, they have some momentum.
So they're obviously going to need something on offense here, as they are going to be starting on their own 4 or 5 yard line. So 2 backs in here for Bristol, Doling and Callahan. Callahan moves out. It's going to go to Doling up the middle, and Doling has got some space, and he may be able to at least edge the Barracuda out of the danger zone. Not quite enough for a first down for the Barracuda. So as a quarterback, when you've got a defense that is hot, what's the best way to quiet them down here if you're Southampton?
I think the best thing that they can do now is just, inch away, right? Really make that a bend and, possibly break defense, right? Getting those little completions, right? Consistent positive gains, just keeping them on their toes and then setting up, play action and plays later on in the game.
So flags come in. Let's see. So full start on the Barracuda. And I mean, a great run there from Doling, practically wiped off the board. They're going to be facing now a 2nd and 9. Very much back into the danger zone.
I know we false cadence here, right? A freeze call of some sort to kind of get them to jump off sides and set themselves up with the 2nd and 5 just to get some of those false start yardage back. Uncovered number 2 receiver here.
High snap, not what you need. And that ball is out, and Southampton might have something big here. And the referee is waiting for a signal, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Southampton Stags. I mean, we saw some questionable snaps earlier in the game. That one definitely threw Witchwreck off his rhythm. He was looking for that wide open receiver, but he just could not get it done. Southampton come around the outside and almost tie this game up. Nice.
That's one heck of a play from the Stags.
So Ollie Cope to try and tie this game up for Southampton. So it's sort of all gone quiet here. Cope kicks, and the kick is blocked. So the Barracuda are going to maintain the lead here. And I'm fairly certain that might have been Jed who blocked the kick as well. Jed, stop it. Oh, I've accidentally got rid of all the Barracuda's points. Sorry. So 7-6 is the score. Not the other way round, because I'm too old to be doing that meme, I've been told. So 7-6 is the score. That kick is blocked. Where is Jed? I might see him. He's probably on kickoff, isn't he?
He is. It's right there on the second line, or third line.
I always asked him if he blocked that kick or not. I think he did. It was either, let's be honest, like 26 and 13 of Bristol have been doing absolutely fantastic on defense for them today. As Cunningham looks to kick it away. And a great boot from Cunningham. Sails over the head. Is that going to be... I think it's going to be a touchback. Yep. Okay, so let me ask you, as a quarterback, when you get an iffy snap, what goes through your head?
You know, even if madness happens, you know, you get another down, or you know.
I know everything's been said like as a quarterback, everything, but is that the worst feeling when that ball just goes over your head into your hands? No, so number 0 scored. There is some space. Looks like they're going to be able to split the sticks. Like, is that the worst feeling? Because obviously, I was playing centre. I can't see. I don't know. I can't see.
Well, I would just say it is. You know, I will never blame my center, because, you know, the offensive line always makes the quarterback look good. So
you hear that, 2022 Gloucestershire Gladiators? They don't blame their center.
But it does suck. You know, it is out of your control, because sometimes the ball bounces the right way, and sometimes the ball does not bounce the right way.
So philosophical. So philosophical. But he's right. I mean, definitely the ball bouncing the right way for the Stags.
There's that freeze call again to get the Stags to jump off sides, and I think that could be another avenue for the Stags, you know, maybe in the second half, to use, you know, or incorporate some more freeze calls, you know, to stop that D-line pressure that, you know, Kuda's been able to incorporate today. I
mean, we've seen Bristol going for it a few times, pays off here, and that's going to net them. Let's have a look. Yep. A free first down there for the Bristol Barracuda. I mean, 5 yards is hard to come by in American football, and if you can get one for free, I mean, no one's going to complain.
Hey, free 90 free, man. We'll take it.
So approaching the 40-yard line are the Barracuda. And another bad fumble, or another mistake here by the Barracuda. I mean, he seems to be getting in their own heads a bit. Sort of now calling back to the Barracuda that we saw in their first game against Bournemouth. It was just mistakes costing them the game here. I mean, they're still up, but it does feel like the momentum has definitely been sucked out of the Barracuda here, as they're now going to be facing down, let's say it's 2nd and 17.
Getting a stop on this drive would be huge for Southampton.
It'd be absolutely massive. And I mean, we have seen that Whittrek has been doing a decent job at quarterback, but that ball is out. And the referees are not whistling that. They're now whistling that an incomplete pass, but it was certainly sideways, and I'm sure the Southampton Stags are going to be having a word with the referees. And it looks like the referees are having a discussion with the referees.
It looked a bit forward.
So he's going to be staying with the Barracuda. I mean, a late whistle there from our referees did put it into the mind that this could be another fantastic Southampton turnover. It does look as though Whittrek has lost a bit of confidence.
A little bit. You know, it is tough for a lot of younger quarterbacks, you know, to throw an interception and to get back out there onto the field and, you know, keep throwing the ball, you know, downfield. Again, uncovered number 2 receiver here.
Whittrek gives it in the reverse to number 7, but the Stags sniff it out for another tackle for loss. And I mean, big for Southampton as the Barracuda are coming onto this pitch, facing down a 4th and 18. I mean, we have seen some long snaps also go awry for either squad here, but Doling managed to, I mean, really save it with an absolute boot. I mean, if he can get a good handle on it, I'd trust Dolan to be able to really flip the field. Perfect turn, but flags come out. He still managed to boot him. A good boot if it counted.
And that'd be inside the 5 if it counted.
So full start on the offense. So an extra 5 yards back for Bristol, 4th and 23. I mean, we can see Dolan can boot it. We do know this. So snapper on the floor, goes through Dolan's legs. He's going to have to emergency kick this away again, and he does.
Goodness.
And I mean, Dolan is saving this. Caught by number 17. That ball did look slightly out there. There could be something to this, but no, fantastic job of number 57 of the Southampton Stags to keep control of that ball. And before anyone asks, I don't have a number 57 on my roster for Southampton, but a good play anyway. Oh, I keep getting rid of the Barracuda's score by accident. They haven't just scored, but you know what I mean. So Southampton gaining this ball inside of Bristol territory. Southampton can find some offensive continuity here. They could very well take the lead. I mean, blitz coming, Devlin's firing, and Jed once again. Jed is bringing the absolute heat. I can't believe this. I just cannot believe that Jed is doing this, and that's going to be a huge loss for Southampton. And it does look as though, I think that might be the QB for Southampton, Devlin, who's a bit slow to get back onto his feet. I mean, that is at least an 11-yard loss for the Southampton Stags.
Yeah, this Bristol D-line is bringing pressure, and it all starts with number 26, Jed.
I can't believe it. I cannot fathom it. I tell you what, it's strange when you have a guy who does such a great job on the social media side, like all of their posts, winning Depth Shot Sports' Graphics of the Week multiple weeks in a row. But then also, he's on the field. He's playing lights out football. He's doing a fantastic job. So Devlin, the starting quarterback of Southampton, is walking off to the sideline. So it looks like we are going to have the back up in, who I believe to be number 5. They're going pretty quickly here. Is that number 5 or number 15?
I believe so.
I think it is number 5. So it looks like Harrison Kelly is going to be taken over for Southampton as Devlin gets shaken up here. Howland trying to get the Barracuda sideline cooking because, as injuries go, it's quite quiet. I imagine they're just waiting for the referees to blow it in here. Is going to be Harrison Kelly in at quarterback for Southampton.
Yeah, I'm itching to see Southampton incorporate number 15, James Cunningham, a little bit more into the offense here.
Kelly's got it. That ball is on the floor and it's picked up by Jed again. Can you even? Jed might be having the game of his life with his second fumble recovery of the day.
This kid is electric. On and off the field, he's electric, and he is just a ball magnet right now.
I cannot quite fathom this, in that I didn't think that there would be a day where a Depth Chart Sports MVP hat would be going to Jed Fadley, but I tell you what, if it maintains this the whole game, it looks like he's going to be getting a lovely MVP hat, because he's been fantastic here for the Bristol Barracuda. And once again, the Barracuda taken over in good field position, looks to be on the 27-yard line of Southampton. Wittrek just needs to get that confidence back, and he fires it. And that's going to be enough for a first down for Bristol. And just as I say that, pass completed. Happy as you like.
Oh my goodness. That's been a nice play for Bristol all day today. The little play action and having their tight end leak over the middle of the field, having those linebackers come up, read, run, and then delivering a nice ball across the middle of the field.
Yeah, that was Leo Alward on the reception there for Bristol. Looks like they're going to be able to get a first down here without getting a touchdown, but only by maybe 3 yards here. Witrek's got it. He's looking to fire. He's going to roll to the outside, and he's just going to throw it away as he's pursued. And so 2nd and 10 here for Bristol. So Doling has joined back in with the huddle. You just love to see that Aztecs logo, don't you? It's all the time.
Oh, it's awesome.
I still need to get an orange Aztec shirt. But let's talk about what I need. 2nd and 10 here for the Barracuda. Bit of a lofty snap there. Wittrek throws it. There is some space. Is that going to be enough? It looks like it's going to be down at the 1 yard line. But it is going to certainly be enough for a first down. We hear some whistles coming in. I don't hear it. Are there any flags, gentlemen? Nope, doesn't look like there is. I can only see the camera view at this point. I've got a big wooden pillar in my way. No, it's going to be a timeout called by the Barracuda. And they are going to be down at the 1.
Tight power run set here. 2 running backs in the backfield for Bristol.
With that Dolan and Callahan.
Under center.
So under center here, this goes to him. They're going to try a QB sneak. I don't know if they're big enough for that, but they're falling forward. They're falling forward, and we're going to wait for a signal here. They didn't need a whole lot to get into the end zone. And it is going to be another touchdown for the Bristol Barracuda. Not flashy in any way, but sometimes you don't need it as long as it results in 6 points.
The CUDA push.
Come on, we've got to come up with a better one. We've got a whole half to come up with a better one than there. So it looks to me that they're keeping their offense out there. So a 2-point conversion now for the Barracuda. And it's going to go to Callahan. He is caught. And it's going to be no good. So 13-6 is the score. But once again, another Bristol Barracuda touchdown set up by Jed Fadley.
You have to, if you're the quarterback or you're anyone on the offense for Bristol, you're giving a big thanks to number 26 today for what he's been able to set up for your offense as a whole.
I mean, you consider 2 fumble recoveries and 2 big sacks as well, doing an absolutely fantastic job here for this Bristol Barracuda defense.
Do we have a Pete Jones sighting here on the sideline?
Wait, so that's a lot of orange on a very Pete Jones shaped individual.
I think we have a Pete Jones sighting.
I mean, I imagine Pete Jones maybe looking at number 26 going, oh, I like the cut of that jib. And that ball is away. It's going to be returned by Southampton, number 57. I mean, he's slipping through tackles here. But number 41 of Bristol does manage to get the job done on the tackle.
I know you may not like it, but I think that man's number is number 67.
Is it? I mean, do I have a 67? I do have a 67. I thought I was 57.
It could be, but...
Agbarakwe, number 67 there. So any 57 love, give it to him now.
Kelly's still in at quarterback for the Stags.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if we see Devlin again today. But I mean, a low snapper, Kelly picks it up. Ooh. And he does fall forward there after the first piece of contact. Let's see if there's any gain there. I mean, another haywire snap. Looks that the Southampton may have a gain of just half a yard there, I'd say. There's definitely some movement from, no, he's going back behind. Yeah, that's definitely about half a yard for Southampton. So Kelly's in there. Also interesting from Kelly, he's taken off one of his gloves there. Better. And absolutely floored, and that ball is out. That ball is out, and it's going to be Howman who's going to recover it this time, and the Bristol Barracuda may find themselves in fantastic field position again here. I mean, let's see what the ref... I mean, that's the end of the first half there. I mean, I didn't even see the 2-minute warning personally. Yeah. So it does look like that is going to be the end of the first half here, and the Bristol Barracuda definitely leading the charge here on both offense and defense. Both of their touchdowns set up by recoveries by number 26, Jed Fadley. It's going to be interesting to see what the Southampton Stags can do now that the starting quarterback is out, but the snaps here for the Southampton Stags have been haywire.
Yeah, all we can hope for is that number 4 for Devlin, the quarterback for the Stags, is doing all right, and they can figure out over halftime how to get in a better rhythm and get that offense going against a stout Bristol Barracuda defensive line, again led by number 26, Jed.
I mean, what do you want to see from Southampton? It does seem like a pretty easy fix here. Find some consistency with the snaps, and because it hasn't been awful, but it seems like Southampton have come into this game expecting a different game plan from Bristol. But Bristol have come into this game through the air, on the ground, but predominantly not been able to set up any long drives, but having good drives set up by their defense. I mean, we saw it on that last play of the game there. I mean, if there was any time left on the clock, then Howman would have had a recovery much like Jed's and set them up in great field position.
Yeah, I mean, just in the second half, I think if I'm Southampton, I want to be able to come together with my quarterback and my center. Talk about the cadence, talk about what's going right, what's going wrong, and yeah, again, finding that consistency, finding that rhythm, but also incorporating some freeze calls. You have to stop this pressure coming from Bristol on the defensive front. If they keep getting in and making plays in the backfield, there's not going to be much that Southampton can do. So, throwing off their timing, using false cadences and such could be the key, but maybe trying it through the air a little bit. I know I've seen a lot of run plays from Southampton today, so maybe trying some quick screens, getting some of their playmakers on the outside, and incorporating playmaker number 15 again, James Cunningham. So we'll see what happens.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick break as halftime dawns. We'll be back within 10-15 minutes. Say the score right now at halftime: the Bristol Barracuda 13, the Southampton Stags 6. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a very, very important second half in the Southwest one. And let's be honest, this game has been fairly close, but you've got to give the edge here to the Barracuda, mainly on the defense. Not saying that Frank hasn't been good in the QB position for the Barracuda, but I mean, both touchdowns set up by number 26, Jed Fadley.
Yeah, and he's having an absolute day. I mean, also number 13 for Bristol, you know, putting pressure on the quarterback, putting pressure on the Stags. Offensive line, right? They just haven't been able to handle them up front.
It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, Bristol are predominantly a run-heavy team. However, this time it's been through the air. And it seems Southampton have been a bit overwhelmed. I mean, the almost fallacy of the halftime adjustment, I think, does need to take place here for Southampton, and they need to really lock down the passing attack of the Bristol Barracuda. But realistically, it does all come down to the offensive line of the Southampton Stags.
Yeah, it all starts up front, and and it's the same for both of these teams, right? If the Bristol Cuda offensive line can, keep allowing these running lanes to open up, and giving their quarterback number 4 some time to throw the football, they're going to keep being successful. And the same goes for the Stags. If they're able to just allow their quarterback, allow their running backs a little bit of room to breathe, I think we could see a good second half from the Stags.
I mean, we can't talk about the Bristol offense without Archie Callahan and Alex Doling, so number 0 and number 15, who have been, very, very good on run plays and, being able to get outside of Archie Callahan, bringing in the first touchdown of the day for the Bristol Barracuda, going out wide. Whereas, Southampton, to be fair, with Southampton, their touchdown came very much in the same way that Bristol's have. A offensive snafu by the Bristol Barracuda. Southampton take over in good field position and score. I mean, realistically, the words of the day here are field position. But I mean, that's realistically the same in every football game. But I mean, as we're involved in this one, I think it's going to be whoever makes the least offensive mistakes is going to win this game. But when you have the pressure coming from the Bristol Barracuda defense that they've been able to apply to Southampton, it makes those mistakes even more evident.
I think it's been really interesting to see how Bristol's incorporated the tight end and wing sets to set up their offense today. Give Archie Callahan an opportunity to create some lanes on those jet sweeps, and also with the 2 back sets that they've been able to incorporate. It looks like some zone run with a running back swing right behind it. So it's almost like maybe it's a post-snap or pre-snap RPO type of look to, again, get Archie Callahan, on the wide side of the field in open space to, go make defenders miss and, get that Bristol offense rolling.
Yeah, we'll try and find some of the scores from around the leagues, as this is a bit of a late kickoff. And this is an interesting one. Obviously, Gloucestershire Gladiators playing their varsity rivals in the Worcester Royals. That game finishes 14-14, which is never a result you want for anything. QMBL do manage to beat Essex 34-6. The Rams beat the Raptors 39-0. The UCL Emperors pick up a win against the Kingston Cougars. I didn't see that one coming at all. Oh my lord! Now this is an interesting one. One of the games that I picked is one of my favourite games of the week. The Salford Storm versus the Lancaster Bombers. Salford's second only BUCS game. They lose to the Lancaster Bombers 38-0. Maybe it is finally the year for the Lancaster Bombers, or at least I hope so. I believe that Jamie said on the Uniball show, which comes at you Mondays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 6:30 p.m. that maybe I was just a year off of the glazing the Lancaster Bombers. Seems that very well may be the case. That's crazy score.
Was Salford at home for that one?
They were at the lovely Bellevue Speedway.
Love a good trip to Bellevue.
Are you undefeated at Bellevue?
I think I've only played one game, so technically yes.
Technically yes, but I wasn't sure if you played 2 or not. Yeah, undefeated at Bellevue. So one thing we can say, as much as it is, quite a pleasant day, not much wind, there is a fair misting. Snaps and snafus have sort of told the tale of the game. I mean, having a light glaze of water on the ball is only going to make it more difficult.
It is really important to make sure that your center is comfortable, right? And when you have a little bit of rain on the ground, it does affect the center. It affects the quarterback. It affects catching the snap, being able to grip the football, and allowing for those quick releases for screen game and quick game like slants and turnouts from number twos. It is an impact, especially coming from a California kid. I hate playing in the rain, and I will always hate playing in the rain.
It's going to be an onside from Bristol, and they tried, but just no good. Number 88 of Southampton. But I mean, you sort of love to see it a little bit. I mean,
when you play in a different position, yeah, it's a great, it's a fun time, right? And especially if you're playing on some grass. You get some mud on your jersey, you're making plays, you're making tackles, you're playing gritty football, but as a quarterback,
Oh, to be fair, you preach to the choir. I mean, playing Gloucestershire, not playing on a 3G, playing Aberystwyth, and it is just disgusting mud. And, you have the towel, you try and dry it off, the towel's saturated, there's nothing you can do. So Southampton taken over in good field position after that onside kick was recovered by Terabay, and it's going to be a handoff straight up the middle, and Jed makes the tackle, and it looks like it could even be a tackle for a loss of one, and it certainly is. And it is going to be Harrison in at quarterback for the Southampton Stags. I mean, realistically today the player to watch has been number 26 of the Bristol Barracuda there.
Yeah, I hope, we hope Scott Devlin, starting quarterback for the Southampton Stags, is all right.
And goes to Dylan Jones again here. Dylan Jones has found some space and some speed. He's going to be brought down. It's going to be a gain of, I'm going to say 7, so they'll be facing it down a 3rd and 4. I'm going to say there. I mean, we have seen, a lot of agility and speed from Jones, but it all depends on if he's able to break through that line. If the O-line does a good enough job to create the holes and realistically get Jones the space away from the very impressive D-line of the Bristol Barracuda, but that's not me having to go at the running backs. It's going to be a fake around the outside, and Howman has got the angle, but just gets past him and taken out of bounds for a first down for the Southampton Stags.
Yeah, we saw Southampton use that end around play a lot, and there it goes, working on 3rd down right there. You see a lot of offenses, in the United States and here in the UK, kind of incorporating that orbit sort of movement from either wings or wide receivers going around the quarterback, faking a run play in between the tackles and letting playmakers on the outside, make people miss and use their speed and agility to kind of get first downs and make plays.
But a great play there from Finn O'Reilly. I mean, could prove to be that onside kick would have been a big mistake if Southampton are able to score here, and fakes it to O'Reilly. But a swarm of Barracuda, a school of Barracuda. I'm unsure of what the plurality would be, but it is going to be a tackle for loss for Bristol.
And number 26 again in on the tackle. 59 was the main tackler there, but again, Jed in the backfield making plays.
So I'm going to say it's a loss of, you say that's 2 or 3, Ethan, what would you say?
I'd say 3.
3. Let's give it a 2nd and 13 here for Southampton. It's almost like we've seen a switch of game plans here, with Southampton very much staying on the ground while Bristol are going through the air. Oh, absolutely smashed! For a absolutely huge tackle for loss. And Caspar Hemfrey absolutely storming through there for a huge tackle for loss. Let's have another look at this, just how quickly he manages to get through.
That's just brilliant timing, and if you can see, pre-snap, double A-gap pressure from both linebackers, causing an offensive lineman to pick one, which allows, a free run from 59 there to go and make a play on the quarterback.
I mean, you can see why he's, a GB under 19s linebacker. I mean, round the outside there is some space. That ball shakes one off. But 5 for Bristol comes in and cleans it up. Could it be? I wonder if that's a tackle for. I wonder if that's a tackle for loss. In fact. Let's go back to the sack from Henfrey.
You can see this just brilliant timing from the snap, and he just flows right through. And you can see that opposite linebacker make number 51,
and a high
their
punt.
center, block him.
High punt. It does take a Southampton bounce. So Bristol are going to be taking over. We started off okay for Southampton, but I imagine if I'm Bristol, I can say, okay, well, we tried the onside, it didn't work. Thank God they didn't get any points. Thank God they didn't get any points. I will say this stream is brought to you by Togs by Emma. Togsbyemma.com is where you should go for all of your custom teamwear. They do teamwear for the Blitz and the Brunel Burners, also Josh Ricketts coaching. In fact, Josh Ricketts is here today. He's been a medic today, but Josh Ricketts, Josh.Ricketts5 on Instagram, and Josh.Ricketts for clinic and strength coaching as well. Which gets it to the outside. There is certainly some space there from Callahan. He breaks one tackle. And he almost broke another, but another 89 of the Southampton Stags manages to do it. Let's get it done. It's not gonna be enough for a first down. I don't know if that's true yet. I mean, the referee's standing very close to that pylon. Let's have another look at this. Whitrick gets it out. But Callahan just getting one hand on that defender.
Yeah, that's a little bit of what we were talking about earlier, right? Just allowing Callahan on the outside to go make plays and drawing in those linebackers with the play action from the other running back. This 2 running back set has been working really well for Bristol today.
They only need a yard for a first down, and it looks like they do have it again. We saw the. I'm trying to think of the Kudali shove. I don't know, something like that for their second touchdown. So, I mean, it's not always pretty here from the Bristol Barracuda, but, I mean, if it's enough for a first down, who's complaining, really?
If it fits, it ships for a low flat rate.
So, fresh set of downs in. Mixing up both run and pass. Which, again, is adding a dimension to this Bristol offense that, hasn't really been seen this season. I mean, again, it's strange to say that they are in charge of the Southwest one. It's going to be a handoff 2-7 on that jet motion, but looks like the Stags are able to sniff it out pretty quickly, potentially for a loss of 1 on the play. Again, this is the problem with sitting at an angle. It's going to be a loss on the play of 1. So 2nd and 11 here for Bristol. Yeah, but the Barracuda are in charge of the Southwest one at the minute. I mean, despite the fact that Bournemouth are probably the best team in the Southwest, they can't win it. If they're making the playoffs, they will be travelling around. But it really does come down to, obviously, the Barracuda needing to win this game. The Barracuda and the Stags, they tend to split the series. The Barracuda, from what I can gather, since 2021 have not swept the series. The Stags have once. I believe in the 2023 season Southampton managed to get the clean sweep against the Barracuda. Barracuda have not yet managed to do it against Southampton. But Barracuda win this game, it sets up, I would genuinely argue, as in my professional opinion, one of the most interesting games this half of the season. And that is going to be the Barracuda taking on the Bath Killer Bees on Friday next week. So, I mean, a short turnaround for both teams. Bath facing Plymouth. We don't know the score of that game yet. Hopefully we'll be able to get you something by the end of this live stream. Callahan in motion, bit of a lofty snap. Devlin's being pursued, and he's just going to throw it away.
Looks like it was a bit of miscommunication from the Southampton DBs on the far side or near side of the field, actually. 89 was, I think, a little confused on which receiver he was covering, so I'm a little surprised that they weren't able to take advantage on the Bristol side.
So 4th and 6 here.
There is one thing I will say about uni ball is that you will see some interesting special teams formations, from all these different universities.
Tries to spin out, and he does, but brought down. Looks like there was going to be a little bit of space there for Finn O'Reilly, the number 44 for the Barracuda, making sure it goes nowhere, and that is Scott Arthur, number 44. So a lot more even here, but more of what was expected from this game in this 3rd quarter. A bit of a low snap here, and just absolutely floored there. There's nowhere to go.
Number 59 again.
I mean, it's looking like it's Henfrey and Fadley, or Henfrey, Fedley and Howman. Does sound like a law firm, and they're providing a great defense here for the Bristol Barracuda. Do you like that one? Looking at my cameraman. So 2nd and 11 here for the Bristol Barracuda. And there's some space around that side, but not enough. Maybe able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Are the Stags?
Again, we're seeing a lot of pressure coming from the linebacker positions from Bristol today. Putting pressure on that center to make a decision on which one of those linebackers to block. And right there, we saw a little bit of a bluff from the other linebacker. I think it was number 13. He went out into coverage and was able to stop a favorite play of the Stags today. It was that end around action.
So 2 backs in. Harrison manages to get it out. And Jed there managing to crash down and make that tackle. So when you've got that linebacker pressure, what is the best way to be able to get plays off and get some positive yardage?
So a huge thing is, being able to communicate with the offensive line, right? When you know that you're getting some double A gap pressure, you need to make sure that there's good communication between the center and the guards, and even your tackles, right? Just slide towards that pressure, right? And so in that case, you really want to have that right guard slide to take one of those linebackers and have the center pick up the other linebacker, and vice versa, whether that be the right guard or left guard, and then obviously having that tackle crack down on either the 3 tech or the 4-eye. So yeah, I think we're gonna get a little highlight here. So again, if you see number 13 and 59 both going after the center there, so again, the center has to pick up number 13, which lets number 59 come in and make a play. And right there, right, we had that little bluff, and now 13 was able to widen out and make a tackle. And look at Jed, look at from the D-line position, defensive end position, taking a great pursuit angle, coming over to make a play. And you love to see that from a defensive end, right?
I mean, even on that punt, Jed was the closest man. I think if Jed maybe ate a few more pieces of broccoli when he was a kid, he would have had the inches to be able to make that block. But even as it stands here, they're going to be starting on the 50-yard line, so only half a field for the Barracuda. Witcherek fires. And great there from number 10 of the Southampton Stags to be able to get that block. Max McGeechee is going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Bristol Barracuda. But again, not too far off here from Witcherek. But McGeechee just managing to get a hand in there to knock it away. But again, I'm just impressed with the confidence here of the of the Bristol Barracuda's offense here. I mean,
I just love the fact that they're attacking the middle of the field.
Callahan in motion, goes to Callahan on a reverse now. 7's got it. There is some space there. 11 was pursuing that fantastically, but it is going to be a pickup of 6 yards there for the Barracuda.
I mean, we've seen it all day. Both of these offenses incorporating, end around action right there on the reverse. Callahan handing it off there.
I mean, Dominic Bird was the man who ended up with the ball and setting up a third and manageable here for the Bristol Barracuda. And it's going to go to Callahan again. But it looks like he's not going to be able to find that. No, he does fall forward. It's going to be a close one. It looks to me to be a yard short for the Barracuda.
Do we see another CUDA push here?
I mean, given that it doesn't look like there's going to be any movement, I mean, that's a 4th in inches if I've ever seen it.
That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot of yards, or a lot of inches.
A lot of inches. I know nothing about that, mate. I know nothing about a lot of inches. But the offense is staying out there for Bristol. I mean, if Wittrek goes under centre, I think we know what we can expect, and there he goes. And he's got Doling and Callahan behind him. They're going to push him forward, and I think they've got it. Again.
Do you think calling it the Kush is better? The CUDA push?
Yes, let's go with that.
The Kush?
So it looks like we may have a Southampton player down on the Kush. I mean, what I like about this is with all due respect to Dolan and Callahan, not the biggest guys in the world, but they're getting right up behind Wittrek and pushing him over the line. And again, it's not pretty, it's not fancy, but it's going to be a first down for the Bristol Barracuda.
And that's the thing with Archie, though. Archie is a really good pass protecting running back, and you don't find a lot of those guys who are able to get low and go after defensive linemen. And here he's showing his strength, and he's able to push Wittrek and get that first down, which is critical for this CUDA drive here. I'm expecting that we're going to see another jet sweep of some sort. Oh, fakes the
Callahan in motion. I mean, not a great snap, but I mean, just sort of landing at the feet of Callahan there. And I do feel like Wittrek was only moments away from a really, really troubling situation for him. I'm unsure if we'll see a replay of that. Oh, I've jumped the gun. I mean, high snap, managing to just get a hand on it. And I think it's a good effort there from number 17 of the Southampton Stags not to draw a penalty, because it is hard when you're a big man going full speed ahead. But Wittrek does manage to get it away, and it is going to be 2nd and 10.
God forbid a defensive lineman wants to hit the quarterback as hard as he wants.
Trying to draw him offside there, but I think there was some movement there from number 77 of the Bristol Barracuda.
Yeah, it might be a very useful tool to use, a false cadence to draw the defense offsides, but it also requires a lot of focus from the offensive line, right? Not to get antsy and not to get jumpy at all, with those cadences.
So, not a lot of flags in this game, thankfully. I will say, got to give a shout out to Bafra here, our referees. Our referee Kieran Smith, our umpire David Shelton, head linesman Stephen Egan, line judge Jacob Smith, back judge John Husband, and all today's officials are members of the British American Football Referees Association. For more information about becoming an American football referee, visit the Bafra website at www.bafra.info. I mean, just very, very messy there from Bristol. It's going to bring up a very, very hectic third down here. I mean, that flag may have caused a lot more problems than simply just a loss of yardage here as it's going to set up. So Callahan in motion. Gives it to Doling, but just number 79. 79 did have Dolan there, lost him for a bit, but still disrupt the timing enough to bring him down.
All right, 79 definitely made a play, but I would even say that that run was supposed to go off the, behind number 72, Big Mo, Bristol Aztecs player, I might add, but he came over, he pulled. I think that was meant to go behind him. I think he overran it just a bit.
Witchrek has got it. Witchrek fires. Oh, and it's almost picked off again. And I mean, there is going to be some just absolute distraught there from number 89 of Southampton. I mean, we've seen Shitu today put on a good performance defensively, but that was right in his hands. That was right in his hands.
Yeah, he's definitely going to wish he could get that one back.
So it looks as though the Barracuda are missing someone. Doling out traffic. They're trying to find something here. I mean, never what you want to see with a punt here. And the flag comes in. And Doling once again kicks it away, but flags come flying in. Sure. Oh, too many men. Oh, okay. Thought it was going to be a delayed game. No, it just, 50 cents trying to find his royalty checks because one's coming his way. Too many men. So a 4th and 21 here. Doling has got it, perfect. And that, I mean, what a great kick here from Doling. A little bit of bobbling of the ball there. And I mean, there's a lot of space being found there, but it was Howman on the tackle. But fantastic from Finn O'Reilly. Let's have a look at that last drive here from Bristol. I mean, Witchrek had it almost done there. I mean, that reverse was good for about 6, but from that point, there wasn't too much there. I do say that, obviously, sorry, there was this play, and then the now named Kush for just a single yard to get him that first down here, but Witchrek avoiding disaster. A big false start there from number 77. You could see how annoyed he was at it, but...
And looking at the replay, you can see 72 a little upset. He made that block and was hoping for a little cut up there, and 89 almost obtaining an interception.
So there's only 7 points in it and only 12 minutes left.
Be interesting to see what the Stags do here, if they switch up their game plan at all. And we haven't seen many passes at all today from the Stags, but if they're able to incorporate some quick game, maybe that could free up the run just a bit.
Harrison's got it. There is some space on the outside. I mean, what a turn of speed that was as well. And just a very, very quick Southampton first down.
Yeah, just like that, right? Incorporating those quick passes, give some confidence to the quarterback here. Kelly able to get the ball out there quickly and put it right on the money, right? And putting the ball in front of the receiver, right where he can catch it, right? Allows the receiver to kind of catch the ball and create some acceleration. And if that ball is behind him, right, that creates a completely different rhythm to that, screen game.
I mean, we haven't said the name of Tyrese Ahmed today, but he managed to bring in a first down here. Ball rolls along the floor and tries to move forward here. I think that he'll be lucky if there's a gain on the play. It doesn't look like there is. I mean, a yard, maybe even less.
Incorporating more of that quick game can also diminish, the effectiveness of that double A-gap pressure we've been seeing from the Bristol Barracuda linebackers today.
Another ball rolling along the floor, and Kelly's going to have to try and take it himself, but I mean, just a mess of Barracuda. Almost deja vu from the play we've just seen. You know, it is one of those things where the snap is, I'm going to say it as a centre. In fact, I'm going to say it to you. I'm going to say it as a quarterback. The snap is the most important part of this sport.
100%. Starts the play every single time.
I'm so happy you agreed with me on that. But I mean, you know, we've seen 2 snaps in a row, you know, for lack of a better term, dribble across the floor. Number 25 of the Barracuda, I didn't think that he was going to, I thought he was going to be able to be limited in this play.
A little clothesline tackle there as well.
But Kevin Barrett is going to force the Southampton Stags into a 4th and 7, and they are going to bring out Cunningham and the punting unit.
Yeah, if I'm the Stags, I would really stick with that outside quick game and maybe set up a screen and go or something.
I mean, there was a little bit of close there, but great kick from Cunningham. Fair catch called, but it is bobbled. Oh, and there's some great speed here. And 25 just trying to get out to block. I can't get it down, and it looks like, no, we don't have an injured Stag on the field.
We're taking a look at the last drive here, and again, it all started with the screen game, a nice bubble to 81, sorry. And then just, you know, tough snaps, not really able to do much. It's hard to recover on those plays. And
I mean, basically deja vu there. I mean,
yeah, 2 back to back.
I mean, Harrison Kelly tried the hardest he could there. I mean, look at 25 there. Great spin, got off his block, brings him down.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm 14, I'm upset at my wide receiver for not cutting inside of me. I mean, you're supposed to, you know, seal off an edge as much as you can.
And straight up the middle here is Doling. Looks like he's just going to have a gain of a single yard there. Play did look a bit strange, like there was at least some level of miscommunication there. But 2nd and 9. Just like the O-line. I think the snap was off, but everyone just moved slightly, for lack of a term, syrupy, if that makes sense.
We had the pull again from 72. And
looks like someone's trying to motion Callahan across. Whitreck's got the ball. Whitreck's not got the ball. Whitreck's just going to have to fall on it.
I mean, that's been just the story of the day, you know, getting a good snap or getting, you know, a lot of, you know, tough snaps for quarterbacks, and it's hard to adjust, and it sets back drives every single time.
I mean, considering that the touchdown for Southampton was formed off of a bad snap, I mean, you thought that, you know, with the momentum being on Bristol, they'd managed to settle into their offense a bit more, but it's just not the case, as they're now going to be, you know, very much searching for a 3rd, and I'm going to say about 19, but you could see that Whitrick was trying to motion Callahan across. Even before that play, I mean, Callahan managed to get it there, hands it off to Callahan on the outside, but number 10 of the Southampton Stags manages to wrap him up there for nothing at all, and he's going to bring up a 4th down here. 2 back-to-back drives from both sides that, you know, disastrous isn't the key word, but not ideal, as Max McGeechee, well, he shuts that drive down and forces the Bristol Barracuda out to punt. Not to commentators cursing one, but we have seen some long snaps for Bristol not go ideal, and this is exactly the place not to do it.
I was just about to say, this is a critical special teams play. If you get a good snap, it's golden. Look at that, we'll take it.
Oh, and that was certainly close.
Ooh. Yeah, you really wish that 41 would have just dove on the ball and hopefully, you know, got the ball back for the CUDA here. This falls right in front of him. Oh, that's
tough. Definitely could have had a dive for that. I think Aidan Webb is going to I think when they come to reviewing the film, as these teams tend to do, that the coaches may have a few words for him.
Yeah, those are, you know, you love film when you do great things. And you love being in the film room when you do great things. But is there a penalty on the play?
So there was a penalty on the play, and it will be going backwards. And it looks as though the Stags have opted to re-kick. And I mean, to be fair, if I'm Southampton, I will force the Barracuda, and I mean, number 15 for the Barracuda, he is in his own end zone here. But it's perfect snap, perfect kick. It is away. It is sailing. And normally, don't get me wrong. Normally, the re-kicks normally lends itself to maybe better field position for the team that's about to get the ball. But on that case, I mean, Bristol definitely locked in there and manages to get it away for a worse situation for the Southampton Stags.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Southampton didn't throw a little bit more pressure on that punt right there. You know, they had two people manning the gunners for the Cuda on the far side of the field, and you know, you could use one of those guys to send a little bit of extra pressure, especially when you're in the red zone in such a tight game here in the fourth quarter.
So can Southampton finds some offensive rhythm. And I mean, and another snap that just disrupts the timing enough for Henfrey to make a big tackle. I mean, you know, when it comes down to the MVP conversation at the end of this day, I mean, it's going to be either Henfrey or Fadley by the looks of things.
I mean, Henfrey has at least 4 TFLs today. I mean, this double A gap pressure from both of their backers is causing havoc for the Stags offense.
I mean, timing has been fantastic for Henfrey again. GB under 19s. Play a 2nd and 15 now for the Stags.
Again, great numbers on the outside. I wouldn't be surprised if the Stags do a quick screen. Yep, and they are. Oh, you just got to put that ball up a little bit for your receiver to go make a play.
I'm just going to look at my look at my producer here. Do you know anything about catching a ball like that and having your knee on the ground?
It's dead.
How did you know that? One specific time against Montford?
It seems like it's getting like a personal attack.
Oh dear, No, I thought they threw a screen past you and you didn't catch it with your knee on the ground, but they ruled it that you did. Doesn't matter, we're not talking about a game from however many years ago. It's third and 17 for Southampton. Henfrey once again breaks through so quickly, and Henfrey and Fadley, I mean, that is a dynamic duo if I've ever seen it.
Wow, and the energy, you know, they bring. That is the life right now of the Cuda defense, and you know, the Stags are just unable to get anything going right now.
Again, Howman, Fadley and Henfrey have just been ruining the Southampton Stags' plans all game long as it's 4th and 22. Cunningham, that ball managed to get over his head. Cunningham's got it, but there are a lot of Bristol Barracuda in that zone, but number 44 manages to bring him down, and once again the Bristol Barracuda are going to start with fantastic field position.
And if I'm the Cuda here on the first down, I wouldn't be surprised if they want to take a shot down the field, right? If they have a one-on-one coverage, if they still want to go with one safety over the top, this could be a great time to take a shot, maybe for the end zone. Maybe try, you know, put the ball downfield and, you know, use, you know, 3 downs. So you're in 4-down territory to, you know, convert on a first if you don't, you know, get it all in one play.
And Scott Arthur, number 44, allowing the Barracuda to start now at the Stags. Oh, sorry, the chains are in motion here. I mean, Cunningham almost got it. But I mean, even if he was running there, he was just doing damage limitation there because he had to run a whole mess of yards. It's going to be on the 21-yard line is the start. which wreck is going to be brought down. I mean, 79 there was very close to getting that ball out as well. Fine Bristol, I'm happy that ball did not fall to the ground. I mean, you are going to be taking a loss of 3 on the play, but you still maintain the ball on the 24-yard line.
It did look like they were going to try to put the ball downfield a little bit, and pressure from the Stags just got there a little too quick for Winchester to, be able to deliver the football.
So 2nd and 14, Dolan is back. Bit of a high loop and snap there. Whitreck's being pursued. Manages to get it off the Dolan though, and there is some space for him. There is some space to the outside. He's got to break one tackle, goes on the outside, and it is going to be another touchdown. And I mean, just like that, another great field position, but I do hear some whistles.
This is just a perfectly executed halfback screen here. When they send extra pressure with the Mike and Sam backers. And this time, 15 cuts it up behind the blocks towards the middle of the field and then is able to slip to the outside and make a play. So you want to go hash to sideline, right, as a running back on those halfback screen plays.
So there is a flag on the play. Is this going to wipe off the Barracuda touchdown? So after the play was over, so
sportsmanlike conduct?
Yeah. So it is going to be a touchdown for the Barracuda. And it looks like they are just going to be going for 1.
I think that was on a fellow Aztec of mine, Big Mo, number 72. Yeah.
So the 2 men who connected on the touchdown now have to connect on this kick, as Whitreck is going to be holding here.
Holding on kicks and PATs is an art form.
And
right?
Doling, flag on the play, and it's no good.
Looks like a false start here.
We get a nice, beautiful zoom in there. So all the referees having a conversation. I never know what to say when the referees are having a conversation. I believe these referees did do SGS versus Portsmouth today as well.
I always wonder when referees are talking. Are they always talking about the game? Or do you think, sometimes they just happen to chat about, where they're going to go afterwards?
Full start on penalty is... Okay. So it looks like the Barracuda are still going to have another chance to tack an extra point on. I mean, Dalton's really going to have to leather this ball. I don't know, I mean, we've got headsets on, and is all we talk about is football? No. So, Darling gets it, kick is up.
A little wide.
No good, so the scoreline is going to stand here at 19-6. So let's go back to that touchdown play. Bit of a high snap there, but just able to shoot that ball over the top.
There's a great block from 75, which set that up and allowed 15 to make a play. Can't give enough credit to O-lineman. Look at that. Look at 72 working his way downfield. Another critical block on 43. Makes a man miss. And that's a team effort, and that's why the sport of football is so beautiful. You have 11 guys working in unison to make stuff like that happen, and that's just good to see. Perfect execution on the slip screen.
I did worry that he maybe did an NFL snafu and spiked that ball on the 1 yard line, but the referees are going to give it to him. That would have been terrible. I hate it when that happens. I mean, the last 3 plays here have all revolved around number 15 of the Bristol Barracuda. man who definitely wants a break. And what a ball. I mean, I've lost the ball. There we go. Oh, and it's going to be dropped there by the Southampton Stags. Returner.
Oh, still up on his feet.
But O'Reilly,
Number 25 is a clothesline tackler.
but I tell you what, a great job there by O'Reilly to get that ball almost to the halfway point of the field. You know, when it comes down to it, you know, this lead is not insurmountable for Southampton if they just find some offensive rhythm. Obviously, I mean, having a backup QB in never helps that situation either.
Hey, we gotta, keep some respect on backup quarterbacks out there. It is a tough business to come into a game. You know, you haven't been in rhythm all day, and then to come out there and make plays. It is a tough gig.
So fresh set down to it. Kelly's got it. Pitches it to Jones, but I mean, Jed was right there, and now number 5 as well, and 59 again. I don't know, just Henry Fadley, and is it Howman number? Yeah. Again, it just sounds like a law firm, but they're very, very dangerous here.
Yeah, and 10 whiffs on the block there as well, and you know it's just tough to make plays on toss when you can't get that edge sealed. And again, Jed just making plays.
And I mean, that is a lot. That is a lot of yards for the Stags to make up.
I think with you shouting out them as attorneys, as a law firm, I think you just inspired probably a graphic for the Bristol Barracuda in the coming weeks.
So I will say that we are now inside the 2-minute warning. Stags want to walk away from this game with a win. They're going to have to start acting quickly and go through the air. It's going to be a reverse, and 36 of the Cuda.
Stuffed.
With a big tackle for loss. And I mean, gosh, look at that is, oh my lord, that is third, and that's third.
And a lot.
That's a third and a flight with at least 2 layovers. It's a long way to go.
Yeah, I must say though, the Stags are starting to look a little demoralized with how much pressure this CUDA defense has been able to put on them all day. You know, the Stags defense was responsible for their sole touchdown on the day. So it is, it has been a tough day, and I think CUDA has shown, this defense can make plays.
And I mean, Henry got out there, but I mean, we've not seen Cunningham on the pass attack today, and he's almost got a first down. I mean, something that you said earlier is, well, we need to see a bit more of James Cunningham here, and we see him there, and it's taken, that layover. Congratulations, you've been upgraded. You've managed to get there in one, and it's going to be what? Yeah, I've not done it yet because you're in a replay.
That's an awesome play.
I'll just reset it.
With the insert from Cunningham there.
Oh no. Oh my God! Southampton are cooking now. Inside 2 minutes, and they've taken that third and I'd said 24 to now fresh set down to it. But could this now be a case of the Bristol Barracuda defense? You're inside 2 minutes. You think you've won it. But O'Reilly on a great catch there.
Some slant bubble action from the Stags on that last play.
And it's going to be a timeout called here by Southampton. I imagine the coaches have seen, okay, we've got a little bit of energy here now. Let's see if we can try and get something going.
Hey, and from Southampton, I'm trying to get James Cunningham the ball once again. Try to get him in the middle of the field, try to get him a matchup, or try to get multiple eyes on him and throw another slant where you can. And never say die, right? We're underneath 2 minutes here, but if they can get a score in the next 30 seconds, maybe get an onside going, there is a shot.
So from the 25-yard line with a fresh set of downs are Southampton. I mean, last week there was a thriller in the Southwest one where the Bath Killer Bees took the lead over the Bournemouth Bobcats with under a minute left, and the Bobcats managed to come back and win the game. Could we be seeing the same thing here? Kelly's going to escape the pocket. He's going to have a gain on the play, but not by a whole lot, and it's going to be another timeout used by the Southampton Stags. So let's just have another look at this play. Let's see if there was anything developing here for Kelly and the Stags. I mean, he did pump there. Was some space for 87, but I'm sure there would have been some crashing down.
I mean, if you can, I mean, maybe throw Cunningham out wide. I think there's a little bit of a jump ball action that could be going on the far side of the field.
Again, one thing I did pick up there is that Cunningham is wearing a big old knee brace. So 2nd and 8 for the Stags.
And around.
It's going to O'Reilly, and O'Reilly's looking to throw it. And O'Reilly was looking for Cunningham, but just not enough juice on that ball. It's going to be a 3rd and 8, and you're going to expect at least the Stags to go for this if it goes to 4th down. Do you like this play, Paul?
I mean, I like it because it's fun, but I will say that if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm watching film, I've noticed most of the time today when there is an end-around play taking place, you have the receiver who is receiving the end-around shifting his helmet and looking at the quarterback. Or did they just call the game?
I believe they have called the game. I thought it was an incomplete pass and that was going to be the end of it. No, So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The Bristol Barracuda do in fact move to 3 and 2, setting up what I think is going to be one of the best games of the season next week against the Bath Killer Bees at home. But I mean, a game here where the Barracuda sort of, expectations for what their offense can do were subverted, and very much through the air, the Bristol Barracuda won this game. However, no, I don't know about you, Ethan, but I feel like there is a clear standout here for the Bristol Barracuda. And it is, shockingly, number 26, Jed Fadley. Again, it does seem strange, as a sense of, very much on social media, he is a character, but he can play football, and two of the 3 touchdowns today for the Bristol Barracuda, which, got them the victory here today, were set up by number 26, Jed Fadley.
And, all day, size does not matter for this kid. He is quick, he is shifty, he's able to slip underneath offensive linemen, and he's able to find great angles and great pursuit angles, even on the outside. We saw him making tackles on wide receivers, which is just incredible to see from a defensive lineman. And he was active all day today, and he brought great energy for the entire Bristol defense, allowing, players like 59, Henfrey, and Howman to go make plays as well. I mean, 26, Jed Fadley, energy, electric, and just a ball hawk today, recovering fumbles, sacks, tackles for loss. It was a great showing overall from the Bristol Barracuda defense today.
And I mean, it's going to be an absolute showdown next Friday. Some teams, they do love to have, one of those special fixtures every so often. And when we do now know that the Brunel Burners did beat the Cardiff Cobras, and something that I'm sure you'd be interested in, the Nottingham Gold beat Leeds Beckett. But I mean, moving on to that, some teams, they love to have, a special homecoming game, something like that. You see it with Explosion. You saw it last week with Warwick and their touchdown. Next week, it's Friday Night Lights for the Bristol Barracuda versus the Bath Killer Bees for a game which they've got to play twice, but it's probably going to set up the winner of the South West one. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be there. I think I'm going to be doing live comms, but don't come here for me. Come here for good football. It's been an absolutely fantastic day. I mean, thank you very much, Ethan, for joining me on this game.
Well, thank you for having me. This has been a really fun experience, a really fun day, a commentating debut, and lucky enough to be able to share the booth with you, the face of Britball, the face of Uniball.
Well, you got to pick and choose. What is only it's the face of one. But I mean, it's been. I've been very, very surprised by Bristol. Very excited for next week. The MVP of this game is number 26, Jed Fadley. And the scoreline here today, the Bristol Barracuda maintain control of the Southwest 1. Bristol 19, Southampton 6. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.